Anybody that comes in with a light bulb ready to go, looking as intimidating as he, oh yeah, with all of that, gotta get the first shot. I mean, I would pop out of the thing, except that you would be there and you wouldn't be able to say anything because you would be holding that light bulb there, and you wouldn't say anything because you would keep the hold until you heard something. I know you.
One of these days, we're going to come on and I'm going to have the light bulb lit.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be a way to do it. I know that there are gag light bulbs that actually come that way.
Yeah. But, Jack, how are you doing tonight?
I was good until I just popped over to see what the hell was going on in another sport, and I'm like, fuck that, Yeah.
Which teams are you watching?
Yeah, well, I turned over to TBS and they were already on post game, and I'm like, and I see Mookie Betts there, and I'm like, yeah, fuck this, I have nothing to watch. And in case you were wondering, for all of the baseball smugs, because the smugs in football are in Kansas City, the smugs in baseball are in LA. So it just makes me want to, as much as I fucking I've already dropped 2 F-bombs and an S-bomb, and I haven't even been on for 4 minutes. This I gotta watch. Okay, maybe I'll be good for the next until we get to 15. Okay. As much as I want to win this weekend is the exact same way I want a certain team to lose when it becomes when they can. And it's looking like they're going to go to the World Series. I admit it. It's like I can't stand the smugs. I can't stand the smugs. I can't stand them in baseball. I can't stand them in football. But at least in football, there's the was it the Texas A&M or University of Texas El Paso study that just totally defeats every smug, oh, well, we deserved it because we're better than everybody. No. And then with the confirmation from the Lions coach, Dan Campbell, that a touchdown was taken away a full minute and a half, if not a minute, 40 seconds after the fact, because New York reached down and said, don't call that or reverse that call. That
Zach, how many penalties did Kansas City have called against them in that game?
Zero. At least taken. At least that they were taken. That's
0 penalties were called against the Chiefs.
I take that. No, there were penalties that were called against the Chiefs, but none were accepted.
Gotcha.
Because the play would be better had they, they took the play over the penalty. Right. Okay.
Gotcha.
So none were accepted, but still it's a big fat 0.
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh, Hollywood's on your case here.
I know. And except Hollywood's a great guy, but FTD, man, and it's not a florist. FTD. Okay, that's all I can need to say. FTD. So what else is going on? And you please tell me, we got 12 people watching, and Jay's there from South Carolina, Hollywood's there from South Carolina, Fearless is there from a hospital bed in Florida somewhere, and Jack Guestafeste. I hope I didn't screw that one up. Jack, where the hell you at? You've been pretty. What is it? You've been pretty methodical.
Radar?
No. He's been pretty methodical. He's gotten to a point where he's like Marinovich and Firpo. The shows are official when Marinovich and Firpo get here, but Guestafeste is also getting to that beat. So thank you, that, for making this like a really official show. in West Palm, and you're up in Maryland or Virginia?
Virginia, Northern Virginia. So
Okay.
I'm just across the river.
But isn't that the more expensive part? Is Virginia more
Yeah,
expensive than Maryland? Yeah.
it is. Northern Virginia is not cheap. It's kind of like San Francisco or downtown Boston. It's not cheap.
Well, yeah. Well, anything isn't really cheap. I see as I
Yeah.
spill my drink.
So
I
Jack,
spilled drink all over.
Jack, tell me what's chapping your ass right now, and I'll
Oh.
jump on the train and I'll tell you what's chapping my ass right now.
Well, I kind of alluded to it. There is a game this Sunday against a team that, if you're a Raider fan, and I'm gonna you know what else is chapping my, I'm gonna allude to this. I'm gonna swing to it. It's kind of like an offshoot. If you're a real Raider fan, notice I say real with the capital Raider R, like they have, the old hat where they had the big black R with the emblem there. Real Raider fan.
Jack, I'll interrupt you right now. I'll interrupt you. You either are or you're not. So not real Raider fan. You either are or you're not.
Then there are some posers out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are some posers out there. I think that actually I saw a post from our good friend Sharif Saleh Khan, aka Black Thanos. He goes, and I looked at him like, wow, what a great thing to say. Is how many of these YouTubers that are current now, how many of them were even seen or even known in Oakland? How many of them? And he's like, name me 5. He goes, I'll wait. And then I made a comment, said, well, I know of at least one, so I'll let you go back to waiting for the other ones. But it's right. It's all of these posers.
I'll piggyback on that.
Yeah.
I'll piggyback on that and tell you that back in the heyday, back in the early to mid 80s in LA, everybody who wanted to appear as if they were with it was wearing Raider gear. And they weren't Raider fans, but they were rocking the Raider gear because that was the cool thing, and that was the thing that they thought would bring them cred. So they weren't fans. In fact, if you asked them to name anybody on the Raiders team, they might have named Bo Jack. Well, this is before Bo Jackson. They might have named Marcus Allen, but that would have been about it.
Yeah. It's sickening.
Mm-hmm.
Real Raider fans live to beat the Chiefs. Yep. Real Raider fans do. And I've wanted the Kansas City Chiefs to lose every game that I remember except one. And I've admitted it. Okay? I've admitted it. I wanted the Kansas City Chiefs to lose every game that I can remember except one, and it was the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Fake Pirates. And it was for personal reasons, because I know somebody was going to say, well, what about that one? I'm admitting it now. I'm dropping an M&M on you. I'm dropping it out there so you can't throw that against me, okay? It's out there. I've already said it, but it's just the way it is. I can't stand it.
I'll agree with you, but it was a different game.
Okay.
It was the Kansas City Chiefs' first Super Bowl victory over San Francisco.
Okay. Well, see, that one was the if you listen to Jack Kenna, because he's NorCal and he has his version of the NorCal Smugs, who they can't stand Niner fans. He was rooting for Kansas City against the Niners. He admits it. It.
And that's the only game that I can remember in recent memory. I even wanted Tampa Bay to beat the Chiefs. But again, it was I understand from where you're coming from regionality wise, but again, that was the only game I can think of that I was actually pulling for somebody for the Chiefs to actually win.
Yeah,
and they did.
They did. But
hey,
I remember I remember Oh my God. I remember the game where we won in Kansas. I now and actually, Fester, maybe you can tell me that the Clete Blakeman has called two Kansas City Raiders games, and the Raiders were 2-0 in those games. Okay. Now
Right.
I remember obviously the Christmas game in 23. Was he also the referee? Because I remember there was a Henry Ruggs game before Henry did something stupid where we had a
Right.
very long pass. Didn't we win that game too? Was that the ring
I
around? Was that the
that
road
was that was
game?
the that was the ring around the rosy around Kansas City Stadium. Yeah, that was Gruden's farewell to Kansas City, pretty much.
Right. I tell you, man. Hey, there. See, now we're there. We got Marinovich in here, so we're halfway. We're halfway
Mhm.
to being. We have quota. Okay, and Matt, if you don't mind, Jack Guastafeste has been in here so commonly, methodically. If Furpo doesn't come in here, then he's going to be the other half of making it an official quorum show.
So you let me know when you're ready for me to go on my rant.
Oh, no. Oh, you know what? You go on your rant because it'll probably inspire me to do other
Hmm.
rants.
Hmm.
Okay. And then I'll say the other rants about real Raider fans that are real, real YouTubers. I'll save that one because I think the word is starting to get out. And to all those that haven't figured it out, to that person, fuck you.
Hmm. All right.
Go ahead
So
and rant
here's
away.
here's here's the rant. Here's the rant.
I got it.
Al Davis, and Mark Davis are cut of the same cloth in one respect. And that one respect is they love the Raiders. They want the Raiders to succeed. They want the Raiders to win championships. And they're willing to do anything that they can to get them to that point. Here is where Al Davis and Mark Davis differ. Al Davis feared no one, no one, no one, ever. Mark Davis fears the Raider fan base. Let me repeat that. Mark Davis fears the Raider fan base. He brought in Reggie McKenzie in 2012. He let Reggie make some decisions, but after 3 or 4 years, Mark Davis decided that he wanted to bring in a new head coach. He knew exactly who he wanted to bring in. He wanted to bring in John Gruden. Why? Because he wanted to resurrect the glory days. He wanted the coach that would come in and magically resurrect the Raiders in front of the home fans in Oakland in their last go round in Oakland. He wanted to make the fan base happy. And again, a lot of the fan base was happy. A lot of the fan base was thrilled. There were other members of the fan base like me who said that is a bad decision. 2.0s don't normally go well.
Yeah.
Just like sequels of movies don't normally go well. You think of sequels of movies, some are good. Okay, I'll give you that, but most of them are sucky. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, they'd have to improve to be sucky.
Okay. So then he brought in Mike Mayock as general manager. Why? To make Gruden happy. Why? To make the fan base happy. Because Gruden had all these promises that he was going to resurrect the team and get them to the Super Bowl in 5 years. Now, 3 years down the road, he did have them in the playoffs, but he wasn't the one to carry them there. He was out. Now,
Hmm.
that's a hatchet job again in and of itself. But what did Gruden do? Gruden brought in shiny objects for his team. He didn't build the team. He brought in shiny objects. Why? Because he and Mark Davis knew that that's what the Raider fan base wanted. They wanted shiny objects that could throw the ball down the field and could light up the scoreboard, and he promised that they would do so. Then that didn't work. Mayock's out. Gruden's out. What do? Mark Davis, to appease the fan base, convinces everybody that they're going to go the Patriot way and they're going to bring in a tag team that has had all the success all these years and bring them in, put them in place, and there's going to be an instant turnaround. And then Ziegler turns around and pulls the trigger on Devontae Adams because that's going to make the fan base happy because now they're going to bring in Devontae, team him up with his old buddy Derek Carr, and great things are going to happen. And they're going to go 16-0, and they're going to win, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. Then that didn't go well. What do? Fire the GM, fire the head coach. Why? Because that's what the fan base wanted. And in that regard, the fan base was absolutely right because Ziegler and McDaniels were pieces of trash. Now I agree with them there. So then they brought in a new GM and a new coach, and they gave him a year. And they kept they let go of Derek Carr. Now this is where the fan base was split. But I think everybody knew, if you think about it, he was there 9 years. He had taken the team as far as he was going to go. So I think the majority of the fans would agree that his time was up. Now, if you'd asked me, I would have said, keep Derek on for one more year. I would have kept him on for the 2023 year and then had him be the tutor for whoever they bring on next. That would have been my play. But they cut him loose. They let him go because they felt the fan base wanted that. But then they went ahead and they drafted who they thought was going to be, oh, this next greatest thing since sliced bread. Let's bring in the defensive end who's going to come in and wreak havoc on everybody. And last I checked, this number 9 is not even starting right now. If he's starting as a defensive tackle, not as a defensive end. And things just haven't worked. And they fired another GM. They had Champ Kelly as an assistant GM, and Mark Davis said all these great things. And I thought, okay, great. They're going to at least turn to Champ Kelly and let Champ Kelly hang on to things and turn it around. But Mark Davis, in fear, afraid of the fan base, decided, no, we need to go in a new direction. And we need to convince the fan base that this is the direction we need to go. So they brought in Telesco. They brought him in. He didn't do anything with the quarterback. So then he was gone. Antonio Pierce was the head coach. Why was he able to stay on as a full season for the next year? Because of the fan base. Mark Davis was afraid of the fan base. He was afraid of what the fan base would do if they did not allow Antonio Pierce to continue as coach. And then he had a miserable season. What did he do at the end of the season? He let Antonio Pierce go. Why? Because he was afraid of the fan base. He did not want to risk the ridicule of bringing him on for another season. So they brought in a new GM and a new head coach. So the new head coach they brought in was Pete Carroll. Why did they go with Pete Carroll instead of a young head coach? Why? Because Mark Davis was afraid of the fan base. He wanted to bring in a proven head coach, an older head coach, someone who he felt had been there before. He was afraid of failure. So for the last 13, 14 seasons, Mark Davis has made a history of making bad decisions, not because he wanted to build up the team, but because he was afraid of what would happen. When Pete Carroll came in, I think the expectations for everybody was Pete's going to instantly turn this team around and they're going to be an 8 or 9 win team. Now that may or may not make the playoffs, but that's an instant turnaround. That's doubling the win total for what they had. And everybody would have been happy with that. But that's the bill of goods that was sold to the Raider fan base. But what they didn't do is they didn't build up the lines. They didn't build up the O line. They didn't build up the D line. They squandered their opportunities in free agency. They had an opportunity to pick up either Jalen Milroe or Dylan Gabriel in the third round. They didn't do it. They chose not. They choose to bypass, and they said, we're just going to ride with Geno Smith, and that's it. We're going to ride with Geno Smith and a guy who we drafted in the fourth round to be our backup, who has not proven himself to be anything more than just a good backup. And that's it. So Mark Davis has not been willing to take any chances to build this team up to get it to where it needs to go. Now, I'll contrast that, and I'll go back real quick because I was doing some research, and I did a deep dive on this. I went back to the 1989 Dallas Cowboys, okay? The Dallas Cowboys in 1988 were 1-15. They were 1-15. They brought in Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson was the general manager and head coach. All right. Now track me here. His first four picks in his first draft was a Hall of Fame quarterback, number 1 overall. And then the second round, a guard by the name of Steve Wisniewski, who lasted for 13 years. And then his third pick was a running back named Daryl Johnston, who stayed with the team for 11 years. His fourth pick was a center, Mark Stepnoski, who lasted 13 years for the team. He built the team. He drafted a quarterback, he drafted 2 offensive linemen, and he drafted a running back. And ever since, I've always used that as a blueprint that if you want to build a team, from the start, from scratch, from the bottom, from 1-15. Now, granted, his second year, they were only 7-9. But let me tell you, if you can jump from 1-15 to 7-9, and then jump to 11-5 in year 3, I don't think there's anybody on this planet that wouldn't take that. But Jerry Jones put his trust in somebody who could build the team. Mark Davis hadn't found that person. There are several people out there that I thought he could have laid his trust on and in to build the team. But he keeps looking for the next shiny object because he's in Vegas. And in Vegas, there's shiny objects all around. And he knows that in order for fans to come into the stadium, they've got to be distracted. Really, they've got to be as distracted by the next shiny object, the next big thing.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, we should already be a playoff level team. We should have been a playoff level team back in 2019, and we should have probably been in the playoffs at least every other year. Oh, and I was going to mention this. Raider Way mentioned R.I.P. Ace Frehley. Yeah. Long live the king of the greatest band in rock and roll history. Kiss. Yep.
Anyway. Definitely, I would say top 20.
Yep.
Because I have a lot of in there. But yeah, I just found out Ace. Died.
And I was going to mention that a little bit later, but again, that's my rant. My rant is that Mark Davis loves this team. There's no doubt he loves this team, but I think Jerry Jones loves the Dallas Cowboys, but he can't get out of his own damn way. Mm-hmm. He wants to be the general manager. He wants the Dallas Cowboys to be successful, but he wants it to be on his terms.
Right.
And that's it. Just like Al Davis wanted the Raiders to be successful, but he wanted to be on his terms. That's where Jerry Jones and Al Davis are very much alike.
Yes.
But I'm hoping that Mark Davis can at some point get a wake-up call. And if John Spytek is the guy, so be it. And just say, look, Spytek, it's your baby. Go ahead, build it. I don't even think Spytek's got that confidence. You can't when you come into an organization where you have 5 general managers in 5 years. You're not going to ever build up a team that way. As much as our fan base loves the Raiders, it's not going to happen. So unless we get a track record of stability and consistency and moving in the right direction, it's never going to happen. We're always going to be talking the same thing. Mark Davis has to grow a pair. He's got to grow a pair and put the team in the hands of someone and say, okay, this is yours. He did that with Gruden, but I don't think that would have lasted. If Gruden hadn't been bounced out the way he was, he wouldn't be a coach now still. He wouldn't. Because the fan base would have been calling for his noose and he would have delivered. Because Mark Davis is afraid of the Raider fan base. And there's my rant.
No, and I am not being facetious. That was well thought out. There was a lot of points. It's actually the opposite of the guy who was doing the breakdown in what the hell movie was it? Billy Madison. So the guy that fucked over Billy Madison's, you know, thing about, you know, the little kid with the little red, the little kid that could. His anti rant, I'm giving you the full rant, well thought out, well put together, and always, you know, hitting the marks. Okay, and again, yeah, Ed Winchell said great stuff, great stuff. But
I hate that I had to go there. I hate that I had to go there, but
it's
I have
right
been
on.
sitting back so long and
Mhm.
seeing pick after pick, coach after coach, GM after GM. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, and I gotta say, and Matt brings up a sub because I actually said this last night. I actually said this last night. It looks to me
Hmm.
like he, Mark Davis, is letting Tom Brady along with Spytek, because those are thick as thieves guys, University of Michigan guys, the whole thing guys, not the Patriot way bullshit, but the Michigan Wolverine way bullshit, a la Brady. Yeah, Brady was the guy that took the Patriots to did all that, but that was mostly Belichick and some bullshit.
That was Walt
I
Coleman.
Well, yeah, I get it. Well, that Walt started it. Without Walt's help, that shit would have not done what or the outcome would have been totally different. But you bring it up. You need and I how long and maybe it's me or have I not stated it clearly this entire season? Tell me if I'm wrong. Have I not bitched about the offensive line pretty much every fucking game?
Oh no, you and I were in agreement back in the preseason before the draft. You and I
Yeah.
were on the Membo train. We said, look, draft Membo in the first round, and then go back and get your running back. You've got two
Mm.
really good Ohio State running backs. You've got Judkins, you've got Henderson. One of those two guys is going to be on the board. So you'll get your offensive lineman, and then you'll get a really good running back. You'll go ahead and check off two needs. Now, I love Ashton Genty. I love Ashton Genty, and I think he was a good pick, and I think he's going to do a lot of good things in the NFL, either with the Raiders or the next team that he goes to after
Like
this.
Jacob. Oh God, I don't want you to think about that, but yeah,
But
I
you and I
hope.
were on the same train that you need
Yeah,
to go ahead and get your offensive linemen because they have turned their back on this for so long. And I agree with what Peggy said. There's no way I would have given Colton Miller all that huge bag of money because again, he's been in the league now almost 10 years and you've got to go younger. You've got to go younger and more stout. Now, I credit him on all the things he's done. The fact that he's the one remaining pick that Gruden had that's still with the team. Whoopie doo. What's that got in the team? Has it gotten the team anything? And now he's injured again. He's not providing the team with anything, and he's made them a lot more poor as a result.
yeah. It's. I don't know if it's sickening. I think I used the term sickening for that other person that I was picking on for despising. It's a shame.
It is.
It's I can't even think of the words right now because I'm just so at a loss of words. Where are we going?
And I'm only going to disagree with Matt Marinovich right now. It says looks like Mark handed the football decisions to Brady mostly. Brady is only part time. He's
Yeah,
only part time. He spends half of his time in the booth calling other games. And whatever shade that he throws toward other teams or whatever bones of flowers that he throws toward the Raiders, it's from the freaking press box. He is an announcer. He's not with the Raiders. He's not helping build the team. He's just throwing flowers and shade everywhere he can. But again, whatever things he's doing behind the scenes, he's only doing it part time. Why? Because he can. He can do that. He's got the cred. He's got all the rings, and he's got the ability to do whatever the F he wants to do. And Mark Davis is going to say, look, we've got Tom Brady in our stable. Look at all the rings he's got. Look at all the wonderful things he's going to do to help build this organization up. Why does Mark Davis say that? Because he's afraid of the fan base.
And remember, the bright, shiny things are those 7 rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asa, good to see you as well. Asa's back again. We're burnt out. We are burnt out with this shit. And Ed Winchell noted, he said that when Carol dies, and isn't she? How old is Carol Davis? She's like what,
He's
98?
73.
He's no. Mark Davis is 73. I thought Carol Davis is like 98 years old or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Carol Davis, I think, is 95 or 96. I believe I think that's right.
And for all those Cowboy fans that won't come on here and bitch because they said nothing will change until Jerry sells the team. Well, no, that's not going to change because Jerry's kids will have the team and they're a chip off the old block. Maybe better than the father is, but they're going to be run the same way until such a time that they show change. But no, the Raiders are going to be the same up until there is an ownership. And that's not going to happen because Peggy will remind you, Mark's not selling the team. He's not.
No,
He's not selling the team. But
he doesn't need to sell the team. And in fact, he's just looking for the formula that's going to work. Well, I'm telling you right now, and I'm telling everybody, the only formula that's going to work is you've got to let a GM stay in position, let him or her, I will say that, let him or her cook, let them make all the decisions, let them come hell or high water. If you look at the NFL up and down the block, and I'm looking at every single team that's had GMs on board for a while, you might have some teams that go 5-11 one year, but then they turn it around. They might go to 7-9, they might go to 9-7, make the playoffs, then they might dip and they might come back. So it's got that yo-yo effect. So sometimes they may be up, sometimes they may be down, but you still run with it. But the Raiders, they continue to just change. It's like they're playing poker and they want to change cards every hand. It's like, okay, this one's going to be my lucky hand. Okay, no, this one's going to be my lucky hand. Okay, no, this one's going to be my lucky hand. And they keep changing cards. They don't keep anything. They don't keep anything. They get rid of all their number 1 draft picks. They don't re-sign anyone. They let people go. I was really happy. I was really, really happy last week to see Hunter Renfrow. He only made 1 catch in the game between the Carolina Panthers and the Cowboys after being on the couch for a solid year. He came in and made a catch. What was the catch he made? It was a critical 4th down catch that kept the drive going, that allowed the Panthers to kick the winning field goal to kick the Cowboys out of the stadium with a loss. Hunter Renfrow could have done that for this team, for this Raiders team. He might not have been the one to get 10, 11, 12, 13 catches, although we did put him in that position to have to do that, and he actually delivered. But he was the guy that you could lean on and count on to get that critical catch. Raiders don't have that now. There's several things the Raiders can't do. They can't run the ball up the middle. They try and they try and they try, and it's the same thing. It's no gain. It's -1 yards. It's -2 yards. It's -3 yards. Every once in a while, they may start Genty one direction. He breaks and finds a hole and does it all on his own after he has to shake a tackle from the backfield. So again, that's all on him. The other thing that the Raiders can't do is they can't pass the ball along. Why? Because they don't have any freaking protection. They can't set Geno up in the pocket for longer than 2.5 seconds so that he can send the ball along. Al Davis would be screaming, "Hey, just throw the ball." You know, Geno, if you have to just take the ball and take 2 steps and just throw the ball as far as you can and have your receivers, your fast guys just try to track it down, that's what he would do. So why don't they do that? They just don't have any confidence. And I'll tell you this right now. Coming into this game against Kansas City, and I'll make this prediction. If the Raiders score the first 10 points, not 7, the first 10 points of the game. So in other words, they've got to be up 10-0. Then if they're up 10-0, they have enough swagger and muster, I think, in the defense to be able to hold it close and win the game. But if they don't have a 10-0 lead at some point in the game, no chance. No chance.
Yeah, I actually can see that. I actually can see that. They gotta have something that they can that they wow, we're up because they're always, for the most part, they're playing from behind. And in New England they were up. Now, granted, at half they were down, but then they came back and whooped up on the third quarter. They came up, so they have to be in a position where they're not looking at the scoreboard and saying, "Well, shit, we're down." Okay,
Right.
um, they need to do some of that. They need to be playing from ahead. And I remember, and I was talking to Hollywood about this today. I remember being at the Monday night game in Kansas City when we were up 17-0. 17-0.
Mhm.
And then all the laundry started occurring. There was a bad call. It was like a Raider fumble that was not called a fumble, and the fans went ballistic. And it was a bad call. The Raiders had a fumble, and they didn't know it wasn't a fumble, and just the roar of the bullshit from the crowd. The officials were like, "Oh shit, no, we can't." And then Then they had a makeup penalty, and then the makeup penalty went to another makeup penalty, and then the whole shift of the game, the Chiefs started coming back. That was the game. I think Kelsey had like 4 touchdowns with a grand total of like maybe 23 yards of offense. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. But they won that game, and we could have won that game. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But they need to be in a position where they are winning, and they're winning favorably. I don't care how it's done. I remember when we won on Christmas that AOC 12 had all of these completions in the first quarter and then had none for the rest of the game or something like
Right.
that.
Right.
I don't care. You have to run the ball, but that was when we had a line that we could actually run behind. I don't see that unless it's by some token that Chris Jones gets a boo-boo on his knee that he can't, and him, basically Jones and Karlaftis those are the two that I know that are wrecking havoc from that defense. They got to be injured, or they got to be out of the game, or they got to go to a whorehouse and catch a really bad case of the clap, right before the game. So, so that they're pissing razor blades. It can be done, by the way. I can call her up, and then I can have go fuck these two guys, right? It can be done.
Well,
But
they aren't playing in Vegas, so we can.
well, yeah, but not this week. They're not this week, though. Yeah, and,
Right,
and by the way,
right.
that girl's not in Vegas. She's in Florida, but that goes beyond compare.
Gotcha. But yeah, this team is in real trouble, and the reason why you look at it, some of the players that they brought in don't really have any heart, and they're not committed to the Raider way. Let's look at Jermaine Pratt. Jermaine Pratt got run. He wasn't doing anything. They let him out of town. He went to the Colts, and wow, instant production.
Yeah.
Why? Because in Vegas, he had no heart. Jacoby Myers right now has no heart. I'm not sure if anybody saw this, but on Michael Bayer's touchdown, you may have mentioned this. I didn't catch the whole
No,
thing,
Peggy
but
did. Peggy did. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Mike
I was at the
Bayer
game.
scored a touchdown, and in the background, you could see Jacoby Myers was standing off by himself, and he could not have had his attention anywhere. It could have been up in the sky, it could have been a bird, it could have been somebody up in the crowd, but it wasn't on the field. His attention wasn't there because his heart is not there. And for somebody who came on this very show a couple weeks ago and said, no, 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 you can't trade Jacoby Myers right now. You got to keep him. He's like the linchpin of your receiving core. Oh, I'm down. If he makes it past the bye week, I'd be surprised.
Did I say that? Because I think I was one that said I'd let him go for more time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was kind of arguing with you and said there's no way we need to let him go now. But I'm on board now. Totally.
Okay, so I did say we can trade Jacoby Myers because we need to
Yeah.
see. Thank you, because I was like, man, did I misremember that? Because I
No.
was, yeah, I was like,
You
what
said we
we
can
doing now?
we can get definitely a 3rd round pick for him.
Yes,
I said,
yes,
no, no, no. Let's hold off on that. We don't need to do that right away. Let's keep him because he's the best receiver that we have, dependability wise, on the team. But I'm all down for that now. If a team comes calling to me, even if they offer me a 4th round pick, I'm probably jumping.
I'd take him for I'd take him for 4 now, even though I know compensatory we're going to get a 3rd, but isn't it? It's compensatory for the draft down the road. It's not even for 26. It's for 27.
Right. Right.
I
Well,
mean,
no, I think it's a 26 draft. It depends on when
okay,
the trigger's pulled. So if it happens before all the free agent declarations for next year, it'll be the 26 draft.
okay.
So that would affect the 26 draft. Yes.
Yeah, I would say take if you got a 4 guaranteed for next year, because he doesn't need to be in the locker room. Peggy said it last night. I think what night are we on? Or whatever, Tuesday, whatever.
It was
No,
last
Wednesday.
night.
It was like, okay. I just all these shows are running together.
No, two nights ago. That's right. 2 nights ago.
But the point is, no, it was last night. It was Wednesday because this is Thursday.
Okay.
He's quit. He's got his union card in his pocket and he's on strike. I'm not going to look bad, but I'm not going to do anything great for you. I'm going to catch the ball and fall down.
Right.
So I'm not doing anything that's going to be really helpful. I'm not going to do anything that's going to be great for you, but I'm not going to put my body on the line. I'm going to catch the ball and I'm going to fall down. That's the way it is.
If I'm Pete Carroll, I'm working the hell out of Jack Bash. I'm working the hell out of Dante. I'm working the hell out of all my young players to see what I have because I'm going to want to build this team. Now, if he's not willing to do that, then he's just like Mark Davis. He's scared. He doesn't want to put forth any effort or anything that's going to be controversial to build the team. He just wants to win now. Well, tell you what, Pete, you can't win now. All right, let's face it. You can't win now. In fact, now you'd be lucky to win 5 games.
Yeah. I would like to win 5 more games because then I get my bet done in Vegas. But it's not happening. It's not happening. So that money's gone. I was looking at the bets that
It could happen. It could happen if there is a shift in the wind. If there's a shift in the seed, it really depends. See, the question is, what do we get for him now? I'd say we probably get a 4th round pick for him now, and that's the direction I'm willing to go. I'm willing to go ahead and say, let's pull the trigger. Let's go ahead and get that 4th round pick. Maybe we could hold out later and get more. I doubt it because if he continues to quit like he's quitting now, that value is going to go down. So that stock's already starting to plummet. You might as well go ahead and pull the trigger and get it done now and salvage a 4th.
I get a 4th, a ham sandwich, and a player that we need. And by the way, the reason why Pratt is gone is he has not been a positive locker room presence wherever. I was happy we got him. I was happy until
a bad pick to begin with.
Yeah.
He was a horrible pick to begin with. He was a bad seed to bring into this Raiders locker room. I can't believe that they did that. Just like I can't believe they brought in Alex Kappa. Again, it's you're dealing with people trying to make risks that aren't worth making and then trying to convince the fan base that, oh, no, this is the guy. It's ludicrous.
Yeah. I mean, Kappa was a sweetheart deal because he knew Spytech. I'm going to say it. That was a sweetheart deal. It's unfortunate, but and I will say this. I was blinded. I remember Alex Kappa being a very above average, good offensive lineman here in Tampa. I was remembering the old days. I wasn't looking at, or I didn't pay a lot of credence to the PFF grades, because PFF to me is bullshit. Of what he said, well, okay, he had a bad year last year. Oh, well, he's not doing that great. No, he's horrible, and he's on this team. It was a sweetheart deal for a paycheck. I'm that's what I got.
Yeah.
Who's Woolen? Matt, I know the name Woolen. I know the name, but I can't remember who that player is.
Tariq Woolen, the defensive back for Seattle.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, does Seattle need a receiver?
No, they don't need Jacoby.
No. I think somebody needs receivers. Like the Giants need a receiver. The Steelers need a receiver.
The Jets could probably use a receiver.
Yeah. Hey, Jordan. Okay, I'm dummy. Okay, I'm a dummy. I don't know everybody by name, Jordan Sean, but thank you for joining us. I'll even put you up there so people can see you. I'm a dummy. All right, Jordan Sean. Thank you for that. I don't know everybody. I don't have time.
As Fred Sanford used to
say,
big dummy.
You big dummy. Oh, Elizabeth, it's a big one, Elizabeth. I'm coming to see you, baby. I'm coming, darling.
We're having the big one every week now.
Shit, for sure. Well, Scotty Lutz is here. Good to see you, Scotty.
I'll be there from KC. Going to be at the game Sunday. There you go. Good.
Scotty, I will be.
See lots of silver and black in the stands.
There will be a lot of Raider fans there. And I can't wait. I will be there. Apparently, there is a hotel right across the street from the stadium from Jiha. So that's where I'm at. It's the extended stay. So I will be there.
There you go. Jack, what are we going to do? I'm hoping that Mark at least listens to some of these shows and understands that you gotta have some balls. You gotta go ahead and take a risk and put your faith in something and let it go. I don't think he's got faith in Pete Carroll. I think he says Pete Carroll's a name and he's a former Super Bowl winning coach and he's got cred. Okay, we're going to run with him until we don't. He's not putting full faith in Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's just a stopgap. He's just something to convince the fan base that, yeah, we're going to increase from 4 wins to 8 and get people to believe that. But we're not going to make it to 8.
Then they better get on that track quick. Well, he didn't say 8 in like 1 year.
No, they pretty much did because they kept saying that Pete Carroll doesn't have losing records.
I get that. I'm being facetious. It's like, yeah, we're going to win at least 8 games, but that's the record for the 25-26 and the 26-27 year. Okay,
that's cumulative.
Cumulative. We could win 8. Navman says that we want to get JPJ at center, probably when Geno gets decimated by Chris Jones this weekend.
It doesn't really matter at this point. Jack, Will putting him at center. Just bring him in. Just put him at center. Throw JPJ at one of the guards. Put Parham at the other guard. Move DJ Glaze over to the left side. Make him the left tackle, and then just put Grant in there at right tackle. Yeah, and let him take his lumps. He'll take his lumps just like DJ Glaze did last year. But you got to shake it up. You got to do something. We got to get Kappa off the field. I mean, Kappa does not belong on the field, and bring some of these other guys in, do some rotations. But Forsyth's not doing it. And I know Matt Brevin says that JPJ needs to be center, but again, you got to have somebody blocking and pulling and JPJ does it a lot better than Meredith. Meredith, we need to sit him down right now. I mean, really, you look at some of the stunts that teams are pulling, and he's getting overwhelmed. He's just getting manhandled. So putting him in, put him in at center. Again, have Parham and JPJ as your guards. Move DJ Glaze over to the left, and then uh, put in Grant on your right side. Just let that work. You can bring in rotational pieces here and there. You can bring Meredith in to spell some guys, but he's not going to be the one that you rely on. I'll point out the fact that several years ago, the Raiders decided to give up on a potential Hall of Fame center named Rodney Hudson, ran him out of town, and then gave the reins over to Andre James, a guy who had never played center before, and said, "Oh, this is going to be a good idea. This will save us money. This will work. He can do that." He couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like was it Herb Washington, the coach of the Athletics, coming in to Scotty. What was Scotty? The first baseman. Oh, Hackenberg, the first baseman for the A's. He said,
I'm trying to remember.
We're gonna make you first baseman. Hey, Wash, tell him about it's not that hard. It's extremely hard.
Sure. Yeah.
It's extremely hard. Yeah. Scotty Hatterberg. See, I knew it was there. It's extremely hard.
People
okay.
do not fear the Raiders now. People do not fear the Raiders, and they look at the Raiders and say, "Okay, that's a win." I mean, I think even the Titans came in to Las Vegas and said, "We could probably win this game."
And they could have if we hadn't gotten that fumble, the strip sack fumble. Who knows what could have happened after that? Because that gave us a touchdown, and we were up 10-0 after that touchdown.
Yeah. Some things have to change, but the main thing that has to change is Mark Davis needs to step out and say, if Spytek is the guy, he needs to say, "You know what? You may not hear a lot from me right now, but Spytek is the one who's going to be making the decisions. He's going to be the one making the decisions on the head coach." That's something that he's not given the general manager any ability to make. Any general manager he's had has not had the ability to choose the coach, or not. Except he did allow Reggie to choose Dennis Allen, which again I don't think was the right decision. But again, he was going for a young coach, and Allen has been in the league for a while. It could have worked if he had given it more time. I'm not sure, but again, I think that's the only time that Mark Davis has allowed really a general manager to make the decision. Truly.
Yeah. I was gonna say everybody else. It's been the coach runs the GM.
Yeah.
The coach run the GM. No, you gotta have it. The general manager's job is to build the franchise. There is a football operations guy for football, and then there's an operations person for the team ops, football ops. Okay, and they're different. And there needs to be that dichotomy, that right there. Okay, I think Sandra Morgan is that person on the operations side for running the team. She does a decent job.
Yeah.
But somebody needs to be that person, the GM, that runs the football side of the team. Players, contracts, incendiaries like that. That's what it is.
I don't know this for a fact, but having talked to people that I know that are fairly close to the situation, if Mark Davis had decided to go ahead and tell Champ Kelly, "Okay, it's yours to go with now. I'm taking the interim tag off. You're the one that's going to run the ship. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to make a decision on the head coach." I don't think Champ would have kept Antonio Pierce. I really don't.
No.
And I think that may have been one of the things that said, "Okay, I'm done." Because they went ahead and kept him on. Antonio Pierce was over his head. Love Antonio Pierce. Love the man. Love all the energy that he brought.
Great Twitter. Yeah.
But he was over his head. He was in over his head.
Hey, Nav, don't go. Don't go because this is fair and balanced. Okay. And we're not negative. We're analytical. I look at things analytically. Has Tom said anything that is wrong as a downer? He's just going over the analytics side of what Mark Davis has done. Okay. Mark Davis has done X, Y, and Z towards the team. Okay. We want to see what positivity can bring. And I will say this again. Okay. I still think if we play Raider ball the way the Raiders play ball, this is Chiefs week, we can surprise the world. I mean, at least we got Clete Blakeman as our referee. That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
I hope that Navman is right. I hope that we go into Kansas City, knock Patrick Mahomes in the mouth, scur him, make him run around, have the defense get some pressure on him, maybe get a couple of costly mistakes because Jack, you know this well. If you get under Patrick Mahomes' skin early, he crumbles.
Yeah.
He crumbles. If you get under his skin early and you start making him rattle his cage, he's not going to play well. He's shown that. He doesn't have the team this year to back him up like he has in the past. They got lots of good breaks against the Lions last week. Otherwise, they would have lost that game, which would have been they would have been then at 2-4, same record that we're at.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Mike Sierra says you have to stick with Carroll. You can't keep changing coaches. I agree with you to an extent, but we all know Carroll's not in it longer than 3 years. He's not. He's not. He's in it 3 years max, and that's it. Now, some people would contend and argue that that is probably the average lifespan of a coach in the NFL. But I will also point out Mike Tomlin, just as an example. Andy Reid, as an example. So again, there are exceptions to the rule, but Pete's only in this for 3 years.
And for those folks that don't know this, the Pittsburgh Steelers have had 3 head coaches since 1970.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Since 1970. That's 55 years. I'm not 65. For 55 years, the Pittsburgh Steelers have had 3 head coaches. Chuck Noll.
And all 3 of those head coaches have won Super Bowls.
Yes. So there is positivity with longevity, with letting people do it the way they. That's what Pete did in Seattle. He groomed the franchise. He actually brought in players. He didn't play rookies. He built them up. Okay. Which is why these rookies, and we were talking about it last night with Peggy, Pete don't play rookies. In fact, the fact that Genty is playing is only because there is no other person that is there to play. He doesn't play rookies. Porter needs to build himself up. Hemingway needs to build himself up. Pegues needs to build himself up. Grant and Rogers, I believe, will be playing this year by the end of the year. I think so. Besh and Thornton are playing because there really is no other people out there. Right. So it goes against the grain, but Pete doesn't play rookies. I'd like to see more of Porter. Porter played decently when he had to fill in for Stokes the other day or the other game.
And a young cornerback, you just have to let him take his lumps. You have to. You have to let a young cornerback take their lumps and see what they have. They're either going to bounce back or they're not.
Yeah. And like I said, we had JPJ and Glaze last year, rookies. And look what they've done. JPJ, I'll say this, even with Colton Miller in the lineup, JPJ is our best offensive lineman.
Totally. Agreed.
So we need to see more of him. And I don't know whether, and people are saying, and I think it might be Navman saying as well, we need him to be the pulling guard because we need to run behind. So he needs to be the pulling guard like Wisniewski, the pulling guard like Gene Upshaw, the pulling
That's
guard.
why we have to have JPJ as the guard. That's why we
Yeah,
have to have him as guard. That's why I have no problems with pulling Will Putnam in and just say, hey, we're going to put you at center.
yeah. Well, somebody's got to play better than Meredith. Very nice mom. I'll give her that. Very nice lady. Met her, but she ain't playing for the team. Her son is. And if her son needs to improve, then he needs to improve.
All right. So let me before I take off, Jack, because I've got 13 and 14-year-olds waiting for me in the morning. So
Okay.
so and I gotta get a good Friday in. So here's my prediction. If the Raiders can jump up to a 10-0 lead and that defense can start to cook and they can start to really dial up some blitzes and bring the pressure, rattle Mahomes, maybe get a couple of turnovers, they stand a chance to win. If they don't have a 10-0 lead at any point in the game, they're cooked. And if that's the case, I say that if the Raiders do have a 10-0 lead, they can possibly pull out like a 20-17 or 20-16 victory. But if not, it's gonna turn early, ugly, and we're looking at probably a 35-10 score, something like that on the other side. And I'm just being realistic.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
I don't either.
I want to see a Raider game, a Raider team that goes into Kansas City and shuts the fans up, shuts the Chiefs up, and shuts the Zebras up. Okay?
Mhm.
I want to see Kansas City fans walking out of the stadium because they're getting decimated. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the last time I was in an opposing stadium. I can't remember when I was in an opposing stadium and the fans were walking out because it got that bad.
That's what I want to see. I want to see a at least half empty stadium in the fourth quarter.
We're in a lot of black.
About midway through the fourth quarter, I'd like to see a mostly like half empty stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I would love that. But if that's the case, the networks won't show that.
No,
They won't show that because Kansas
they'll
City is the
show.
darlings.
Yeah, they'll show fucking what's her nose out there or with the look at how my man is getting his ass kicked.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I'll do
Anyway,
that.
well, Jack, good seeing you. I'm going to be prepared next week, come hell or high water for good news, bad news, or just maybe another rant. Hopefully not. But we'll have a bye week coming up. We'll hopefully get some people healthy over the bye week. But let's take a look and see what we're looking at next week. So we're looking at either a 2-5 team or a 3-4 team. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see where we are. If we're 3-4, that means that the Chiefs would also be 3-4. So those will
And we
be
would have
some good
tiebreaker.
conversations.
Yeah, we would have the
Huh?
tiebreaker because we beat them. They would actually be in
Exactly.
fourth
That
place. We
they'd
win.
be in fourth place because they'd be 0-2 in division play.
Yeah, and
So
we beat them head to head.
right, but again, this will be our second division game. We'd be 1-1, but that's be their second division game. They'd be 0-2.
I'd
So
love to see that.
yeah, yeah.
Things can
Anyway,
happen.
Jack, take care. Have a great week, and we'll jump in next week. Let's those of you who are going to the game, wear your silver and black proud because again, there's no other fan base like the Raider Nation. We are undefeated when it comes to being devout fans, being loyal fans, and just able to weather a bunch of shit. We can do
I
that
agree.
like nobody else ever. Anyway, listen, you all take care. Thanks for coming in, and we'll check you again next week.
All right. Thanks there, Fester. Get that light bulb in
All
there,
right.
man. I need to see that one more time. There he is. There he is, Raider Fester. Tom Fester, Raider Fester, T3 Jones, good to see you, brother. You take care. We'll see you next week. Who guards Kelsey? You know what? Way, I say let Jamal Adams do it. Let Jamal Adams do it. Somebody needs to. And Jamal Adams is a former D-back. I know he's slower, but so is Kelsey. Slower. Let Jamal Adams be that guy. Who else is going to do it? We gotta. Oh my God! Even when, and I was remembering that game when we were up 17-0. Kelsey, 4 touchdowns for like 17 total yards, something ridiculous like that. If you would like to come into the show, and Navman has the link, hopefully he'll come in. But if you would like to come into the show, and if Navman comes in, that's great. I'm not poo-pooing. I still think that there is a possibility. Okay, I used to be Pugsley, by the way, right away. When I was young, and I had the striped shirt, the striped blue and white striped shirt, and I was chunky. Yeah, I even think my parents called me Pugsley. So, if you'd like to come in and talk about what you think is going to happen, hit the link. It's okay. Well, because I've been on for an hour, and I will be on for, I put in the link mode. The link is there. I want to hear your thoughts. Mode's coming in because he asked for the link. So I know he's going to be coming in. If you want to be in on this show, hit the link. Your honest thoughts about what you think is going to happen in Kansas City. I leave tomorrow. I leave for Kansas City tomorrow. In fact, I don't even remember when my flight is. That should be something I need to look at. Oh, the Flyers lost. That's another shitty day. Let me make sure that turn the flashlight off. Okay. When is my flight? Okay. Mode, be real quick. I'll be right with you. I actually need to look to when my fucking flight is. Search in mail. Oh, wait a second. I sent it in a message. Golf. Okay, I know I put my itinerary. I put it somewhere. Maybe it's in messages. Okay, let's see here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, okay. Take off. Oh, that's shit. That's insane. I gotta look. I don't even know when my is. Way, is the VA taking care of me? Yes. Yeah. VA is. Now it's just a matter of Social Security. So without further ado, I'm going to give the chance to have Raider Mode check in. How you doing, brother? What are your thoughts? I mean, I wanted what is it? I wanted Navman in here to come in, but he said we were being too negative. I don't know. We were saying it was negative. And Tom was talking about what Mark Davis has been doing, and I agree. He's been appeasing the Raider fans, the Raider Nation fans, but to what degree, to what extent?
No, and it's true. He has been appeasing the fans to a certain extent. Um, I still feel like if there's still a lot to work on, much so like our secondary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but I feel like if we've had a strong first half of the season so far, coming into this game, what 2-3,
2-4. Yeah.
and this is going to be a tough matchup for us. I feel like if it's going to be close, um, much like many, I am very hopeful that we could pull this one off. And going into our bye week, 3-4. But like I said, it's going to be a very tough matchup.
I
They
think
have
so.
they have a very tough offense. We have a good offense.
We
Our
have the capabilities of having a good offense. I think so. But what was it that, and I can't remember. Oh, yeah, Peggy. Peggy was saying last night, the reason why Gino looks at one receiver and throws the ball is because he does not, and I kind of like, whoa, that's he doesn't trust his offensive line to hold up for 5 seconds.
that is very true.
Okay.
That is very true.
So
I do agree with that.
Locks in and there's the ball. Locks in and there's the ball. And I saw it all last game. It was true.
And even I've been noticing that and I've noticed it coming out of all the other levels as well. Not a lot of quarterbacks are trusting their offensive line anymore, which shows them not going through their progressions correctly.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not the primary receiver on a play, which is why we brought up the fact that when Mayer got the touchdown, Myers was over at on the other end of the field, looking like it ain't going to me. He was way out of the play. I haven't seen this picture. I want to see the picture. I want to see the picture. Yeah, but I mean, two people talked about it. But call me gullible, call me stupid, call me I don't know what you want to call me, but I'm out here pretty much every week. I haven't missed a game. I will eventually miss going to Philly. I will eventually miss going to Denver, but I am going to a game that week. I'm going to Wisconsin. So I'm not missing the week. I'm just not going to Denver. I'm not going to LA, and I'm not going to Philly as of right now. But if there's 17 games, I'm going to 14 of them.
Yeah.
15 technically, because I am going to another game when I'm not going to the Denver game. So I'm going to 15 weeks worth of games.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up. It's just a matter of, Wisconsin. I'm going to be up there for the Eagles playing the Packers, Clayton. So if you got my number, let's get. I'll be in Appleton, just like I was for the draft. Hopefully, I can meet up with you. It'll be great to see you. But I'm going there. So I'm missing the Broncos game. Clayton, I'm not going to Denver on that Thursday night. No, I'm going to go out to Appleton on that Friday and miss it. But what do you think? I mean, honestly, is there any you think that there is? I mean, we were out there looking like Jim Carrey last night. So you're telling me there's a chance? I really do. I think the Raiders can win. But
so do I. They show that potential.
Yeah, we got to be up. We got to be positive. We got to have a lead, because if we don't have a lead, it'll be a lot harder to work from behind.
No, yeah, and that's very true too. Like if they do manage to take the lead, and if they do get the ball in the second half, I feel like if that's gonna set them up for success in the second half, even if the lead is just a small margin. But if they start off with the ball in the first half and then take the lead going into the second half, it has to be a pretty good margin. Like I said, I feel like if this is going to be a close matchup, so I really don't see that being very well of a possibility. Everyone in the AFC West, we all play each other very tough. We all play each other to the fullest extent. And like I said, every matchup has been very close so far that I've seen out of the Charger games between them and all three of the division foes.
Yeah, I agree. And remember, Clayton is a Broncos fan, so I'm actually going to ask Clayton. Well, I know he probably wants the Raiders to win because you always want the lesser team within the AFC West to beat the team that's on top of them because it helps you out. So I'm sure Clayton's rooting for the Raiders this weekend. That's of course, but I don't even know who the Broncos have. I don't know who the Chargers have. I just know that the Raiders have the Chiefs. This is Chiefs week, and I'm going to be doing everything I can to give the positive juju. I didn't want Navman saying that I was being negative. No, I don't think that anything that Tom was saying was negative. Fester was saying anything negative. He was just being analytically factual.
Yeah,
analytically factual. So and so you think that there's a chance that the Raiders come? I think so too.
I feel like if there's a chance that we could take this one, like I said, both offensives on both teams are pretty decent so far. Defensively wise, I feel like if that's going to be a struggle and a headache for a lot of us.
Yeah. And again, I agree with Raider Way. The Raiders can beat the Chiefs. Can the Raiders beat the Chiefs and the referees or the Zebras? That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Can it be done? It can be done. It's hard.
Yeah. It's mainly, to me, they just cannot commit too many stupid penalties. Let's be honest with that. There can't be. They gotta lower the amount of penalties.
And hopefully the Chiefs actually have some called against them.
That too.
That worked. Mode, what else is going on? What anything fun for you coming up after the game or anything that we need to go about? Obviously, good for you on keeping things squared away, and career wise, you're still doing the same thing that you were doing, correct?
Yep.
There you go.
Hopefully,
don't get in a bad situation. Have to go to jail because Mode's going to be on the outside. Mode's going to be on the outside, making sure that your ass stays in lockup. Just saying. But yeah, anything personal or anything you want to add along that for us?
I have been watching a little bit of the baseball playoffs, and sorry about your Phillies, sir.
Yeah, I know. I'm lamenting. I'm lamenting. But at least you're not arrogant about it. Like I said, the Dodger fans are very smug, just like Kansas City fans. They're very smug.
Yeah. A lot of Dodger fans are pretty arrogant about it. We just went up in the series 3-0 to Milwaukee. I feel like the Dodgers could finish it off tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so too. You're up 3-0. Yeah. The Dodgers got this series. You're not, in my estimation. The last time that there was a 3-0 lead that was not gotten was the Yankees Red Sox years ago.
Yep.
That just did. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen here. I don't see it happen. So the Dodgers.
I want to say, wasn't that the 2005 series?
That was the one that's in the movie with Jimmy. What was it? Was it? Oh, what's his nose? The guy that's the NBC late night guy, and
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, that movie, with how the Red Sox were winning in the end.
Yeah,
Fever Pitch, I think it was like Fever Pitch. Yeah,
I think
that's the
so.
series where they were down 0-3, and then they won 4-3.
I want to say that was actually our head coach, the Dodgers manager, who was actually part of that team as well.
I don't. I'd have to look. Yeah, I'm not sure because he's been with the Dodgers for a while. I'll have to look because what's your head what's your manager's name is
Dave Roberts.
Dave Roberts. I'll have to look. Stand by. Do you mind if I take a quick standby?
Go ahead.
And let's see. Let's see. Dave Roberts, Red Sox. Okay. Let's see. He does come up. Japanese American baseball manager. I do see a Red Sox uniform. 2004 LCS. Okay. You traded Roberts to the Boston for minor league outfielder. Okay, so 2004, he was on the Dodgers, and he went to the Red Sox. Okay. So yeah, I do see him on there. Oh, and there's probably a good reason why there's a lot of Japanese guys on the Dodgers, is the fact that he's half Japanese. Did not know
That's
that.
something I didn't even know myself.
Yeah, his mom is Aiko or Aiko. Let's see, because I just saw it. It was in his wiki page, but yeah, his mom is Aiko, so that is obviously his mom is Japanese, and his dad was the American. I'm not sure if he's what his nationality is as far as that, but his mom's Japanese.
Yeah.
So then now we got that squared away. But yeah, Dave Roberts. Now at least in 2004. So I don't think it's been 20 years. I think it's been maybe 15 years, maybe 2010 era. I don't know, but yeah, he was definitely on the Red Sox, maybe in way for that. But okay, but now I'm going to ask you because I know you're a Dodgers fan. Who do you think will be because right now the Mariners are like down, or they're up 2-1. Aren't they playing tonight? Weren't the Mariners playing?
Mariners are playing right now.
Okay, what channel is that on?
I want to say
I know it's Fox
CBS.
Sports. Yeah, I know it's Fox Sports, but I don't know what channel it is. Maybe I can find it. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, it's Fox Sports, but I don't know what channel that is on my dial. I always have a hard time finding Fox Sports. Maybe somebody can tell me what channel it is. FX, that's Fox. So, is anybody out there that knows what channel Fox Sports is?
I know every state is different with their channels.
Not really, because of well, yeah, it's if you go over the airwaves, but I'm watching DirecTV. I just don't remember what Fox Sports is. Maybe I can. I do not know. I'll find it eventually. If I keep going through the guide, it'll eventually come up. but that'll be, that's unfortunate. That's not the easy way to do it. But yeah, so there, if it's on now, oh my god,
They should be approximately in like the bottom of the fourth, maybe heading into the fifth.
okay. I gotta find okay, with menu when you say there'll be search. Okay, there you go. Search. Okay, if I do search, smart search, okay, then if I do Mariners, I should be able to find the channel real soon. Marin. Mariners, Marine Boy, Marine Mammal. So I'm here. Mariners at Blue Jays. Okay. I'm getting it. Okay. 219 is Fox Sports 1, but that's tomorrow. That's Sunday. Well, at least wait. I'll get out of here. If I go to 219, it should be Fox Sports. Blue Jays at Mariners. Got it. Okay. Done. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yep. Toronto is winning 5-1 right now in the bottom of the sixth. So Toronto's and Scherzer is leaving the game. Wow. They just took out Max Scherzer with 2 outs in the bottom of the sixth. Yeah. Oh, and thank you. Yeah, I see Azo, and that I find it. Thank you there. I was there. Try 219. I apologize, brother. I didn't see that until I did it up there. But okay, so mode. Final thoughts. Anything positive that because Navman was saying that we were being negative about the Raiders. I think we're just being just so about our team.
Positive wise, it's been a very strong first half of the season.
It needs to be better.
We're keeping. We've had a couple of low games, but a lot of them have actually been very close.
Well, okay. The game that we got boat raced in DC, we were boat raced. We should have won the Chicago game, and in Indianapolis we were boat raced. So there were 2 games where it was there was no way in hell we were winning those games. I was in DC and Indianapolis. Okay, we should have beat the Bears.
Oh yeah.
We beat the Patriots, and we beat the Titans. So that's 5 games, and I'm missing some games. Oh, we were not in the game against the Chargers, so that's the 6th game. Bless you. So okay, now though okay. So in 3 games, we got our asses kicked in 3 games. Okay.
Yeah.
We won 2, and we should have won another. So I mean, if you look at it that way, we should be 3-3.
Yeah.
We should be 3-3. So I get it. All right, but we'll see what happens after this game. Mode. I'm going to try to I'm going to try to get somebody else on. You take care of yourself. Tell your cousin, that. And I know I'm sorry. I will return the salute. I'm very sorry, sir. I missed it.
Don't worry about it.
Didn't mean to leave you hanging. But yeah, tell your family I send my best, and we'll hopefully have some good things to say next week.
Oh yeah.
All right. But hey, be well later, there. Captain. Be well there, all Jesse. Right. I'll give you one too back. Hoorah. Be well.
All
Raider
right.
Arg, you bastard. Raider mode is there. Good to see him. I'm going to check out, there's 2 outs, 1 on. Flaherty came in. Apparently, I don't know how many pitches Scherzer was, but Scherzer he was not happy that he was pulled. I had literally just went and saw that. I didn't know anything else going on. Scherzer likes to, Scherzer will throw 190 pitches if need be. 190 pitches if need be. But basically, they need 7, 8, 9. So that they need 10 more outs. The Blue Jays need 10 more outs, and they can get that. So, but if you want to come in, I'm going to put the link up again. There's the link. If you'd like to come in and talk about the Raiders, please do. We've been on for an hour and a half. This is your show where you talk sports. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. That's fine too. But I'm making sure that you can, if you want to, talk sports. Oh, sure. Apparently, okay. There was a walk that should have been a strikeout. The way I'm reading faces. So, not quite the tying run on, but you get a good blast. You get 2 in there. That's a strike for sure. Why could you have called that when Sanchez was on the mound? And yes, I'm. It's still kind of raw. Still kind of raw. Okay, there's a hit, 1 run in, and 1 out. So that's all. A nice assist from the outfield. Gets the runner at third. 1 run came in. So the Mariners are down 5-2. That was a hell of a pickup by, was it Berger or Barger? Gets the runner out at third. Naylor was like, he was meat. He was meat. That's a good question, Ed. That's a good question. I don't know. Oh, how is that game? I do have a side bet on that because you got to have bets on something. Let me look. I will see how I'm doing. The Steelers do need to win, though. I don't know if they are going to do that. The way that they people are saying that the Bengals are taking them to school. If that's true, then oh my goodness, unfortunate. Let's see if I can get this here. But yeah, I had some money, and I was thinking, yeah, why not? Let's put some money on it, make it interesting. So I'm logging in. I do not have a way. 27-17. Okay, so the Bengals are winning. So 27 is wow. See what I got. Fourth quarter. Oh, I got a no sweat bet token. Okay. Oh, live highlight. I don't know. I don't know anything about highlights. I ain't worried about that. So it's a 3-bet parlay. Okay, Rodgers has 2 touchdowns. Okay, Flacco has 2 touchdowns. So if the Steelers win, I win the bet. If the Steelers win, I win the bet. Because the quarterbacks, it was over 1.5, and they both had 2 touchdowns. So that they're both did that. So if the Steelers win, hey. If not, then I lose a whole $13.89. But if I win $78.13. That's why I was like, okay. And I've been turning into more of a gambler with this app. Azo says, see, the Raiders have lost their fire. Seems they are struggling in all phases of the game. All the interceptions have been demoralizing. What was it? We were thinking about that. 3 of the 10 have been on tips. The Bowers interception was a tip. In Indianapolis, it was a tip. And I think, no, last week was right to him. I think that there's been 3 tips. And the rest of them was Gino just trying to make things happen, throwing into double coverage, just not making a good throw. So, such is life there. But, and yeah, the interceptions have been demoralizing. I agree with you there. Yeah, and the double coverage was because he was trying to make things happen. He thinks that because we can't run the ball, I got to make things happen. And, he's putting all that pressure on himself. And it's not what's this? Something I don't know about the. Well, Tyson Cobb. He's playing better. I mean, if you look at him over his career, yeah, I think you're right. But I don't know whether you can say, "Oh, is that out?" Yes. Vladdy just had a Vlad bomb, so that's another run. 6 runs, solo home run. Is Myers out on Sunday? You like for injury, or because we're holding him back because of the? Let me see the injury report. And you know what? I agree with you on this one. I want to see effort. I do. I want to see effort. Let me look for you, Ed, because I looked for Dave Roberts before. Let's see here. Raiders injury report. I'll look for you. Boy, Carlos came right up. Raiders injury report. Injury report. Okay. See if I can find that for you, Ed. Okay. Bowers is not practicing. He's not coming back until after the bye at earliest. Lobby has a hamstring. Today he was limited. Jacoby Myers, knee toe, did not practice. Okay. Bachman was limited with an ankle, and Shorter, who's like the big wide receiver / tight end, he didn't practice as of today. Now, actually, oh man, fuck Jerry Tillery. He played for us. He played for the Chargers. He's playing for the Chiefs. Has he played for the Broncos? If he has, he's done the entire AFC West. Worthy was full practice, of course. He hasn't been nicked by anything. Rashee Rice, same thing, full practice. Oh, actually, I was confusing that. So Rashee Rice, full. Xavier Worthy, full. Juwan Taylor, full. Some guy named Nico is full. Rashard Smith is a running back, full, after did not practice on Wednesday. And Josh Simmons, the offensive tackle, did not practice. So that's your Kansas City Chiefs. I see no reason why. I think yeah, you're welcome, Ed. It said that he was when you talk about Myers, it looked like it was what, knee toe. Doesn't even say what the hell it is, knee or toe. Didn't practice Wednesday. Did not practice today. And based upon the fact that we have a bye next week, and when is the trade deadline? I wouldn't trot him out there. It was a bad business move. You want something to get for him? Bad business move. I don't know, but yeah, I don't see why anybody should be practicing. Bad business move. So that's about it. We've been here. Oh wow. If you would like to come into the show, please do. Because I'm very tired. And I apologize for being, you know that I am very straightforward. I don't really hold back. I should more often. But I'm tired. My stuff is mostly packed. I'll go look at my itinerary. And yeah, we don't want him to get hurt because and actually he doesn't want to get hurt. He doesn't want to get hurt, so I'm sure he's probably not going to practice, or he's probably not going to play. But looks like nobody else wants to join me. Sorry. I'll give it 2 minutes. If you want to join me, hit up Wacko Jacko Flacco with another touchdown. So it looks like I'm going to lose that bet. Oh well, it was only $13.89. What's the score now? 34-17. I don't have it on. I do have capabilities to get it, but I just have to. It's not working on my TV correctly. I don't care. But thank you for that score. What the hell is this? I do not know what this is. Oh, 27-24 Bengals. So the Bengals are only up by 3. Okay. What's the 27-24, 10 minutes in the fourth quarter. Okay. I'm looking at the ticker. No fan to the 25. Visual 43 for 25 minutes. I don't. It's I'll just see it. I don't know. I don't know. You all have a great night. Ed, I will be seeing you hopefully sometime soon. Remember that got to get out to Cali. Y'all take care. We will see you this weekend. I will be out in Kansas City. Hopefully, going to have a great, positive Sunday night show. We'll see you. Good night, everyone. We'll see you. Take care.